there's a few people missing. Mabel, I've asked to join us because I wanted to get a update on the South African hustle. There's been some exciting things going on. So in a second, I'll get her to kick off. And then, Ree, maybe you can give us an update on the Australian hustle and what's been going on there. And then I've got a pretty clear direction for the rest of us focusing on the US, which will get us to the final announcement of who's getting on the plane by the end of the week, early next week. So, Mabel, would you like to kick us off, please?
Let me try. Okay. Well, so the wrap-up for the SA Hooded Hustle is midnight tonight, their time. So, like, in a couple of hours our time, which is great. I think in the last, 5 hours, we've had, 4 applications. And I think overall there's been 13. And a couple of people have sort of said that they're going to, they're working on the very final bits of the application now. So they've been in constant contact in regards to when to get it in, what to get in. And then I think the beauty of it is the people that we sort of assisted through the application process, they, when we got there, we were sort of nervous about turnaround and stuff. So we were kind of coddling them a little bit and was like, oh, if you substitute this, if you substitute that. And we were just why the fuck, why are we doing that? We're not doing them any favors. So by the day that we left, we were sort of just whatever, if these mob want to do it, they'll complete a full application. So we sort of just left them to it after that. We were if you want it, make it happen. End of story. And then since then we've had full applications coming in, people that only just found out about it the other day, completing the entire thing, principals signed on, and they've gone and hustled their way through it. So it's really bloody good to see. So I think the intent and the fire is insane over there, which we kind of knew would happen. But I think just for the 3 of us hustling, we've just got short of 15 applications. So in 3 days. So that's fucking boss if you ask me. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on the chats on Slack and stuff, just because, yeah, I've got more stuff at home that I know has happened, but I can't drill them off the top of my dome right now. So I'll handball to you guys while I breathe for a second.
Fantastic. Loving the energy, loving the intent, loving the professionalism in the follow-up. And you're definitely right. If you raise the bar and you set expectations high, people will continually jump over it and keep rising. And one thing, just for anyone who didn't note that, Mabel said, I can't roll them off the top of my dome as she walked past Dome Cafe. So full cred to you on that. You didn't even realise it. Rianne, how are we going in Australia, mate?
We're going bloody brilliant. Yesterday we did maybe 8 or 9 interviews. So in total we've got 15 Indigenous Australian seats filled and 1 African Australian. The African chick that applied was really strong. She hadn't had any contact with the program, but Dorcas had recommended her for a position. And yeah, she was super passionate. She wants to start up a program from a couple of the other universities in Victoria that don't have AIM already. And she's just a baller. It was, and yeah, so we're looking forward to being able to get her on the plane as well, along with our, Indigenous brothers and sisters. So it's going well. We've got about 7 booked for today, but with another 10 that we need to follow up with and contact. So we're hoping we can just basically interview back to back all day today and get them over and done with.
Great work, Ray. Awesome turnaround. Really exciting to see it all coming together. Unreal. So for the US hustle, we've now got a firm deadline of the end of the week US time to make a call on who's getting a seat on the plane. And so what we need to do is just get really, really focused in on the people who have essentially pending applications. What Ella and I are going to do after this call is put together a message that Jack has drafted going out to all of the people that he's interviewed or have been in the wings saying, look, this is your last chance to show us how much you want this. Do you have a passport is probably the most important one, because if they don't have that, they can't get on the plane. And tell us how you're going with the university school and getting the book report done. Are you going to get it done in time? If you've got the intent, if we back you, then and you've got a passport, then we'll give them a seat on the plane. If they don't, then they won't get it. So that'll go out to all of the crew who are in that strong maybe / pending stage. I recognise that there's a lot of contact happening for individually from people, which is great. We still need that personal follow-up. That's going to get people really over the line. But just so you know, we're trying to centralise the information so that we can be really clear on who can actually get on the plane and get this done. So that Jack can make a call by Friday evening his time, which is Saturday morning over here in Australia. There is a opportunity for people who we can't get into an interview but have everything done to do it early Monday or Tuesday. So there is a contingency for those ones, the Hail Marys. So let us know if there are any of those. But let's try and stick really tight to this deadline and time frame so that we can be clear and then have the week or so leading in to the festival and the plane focused on getting ready for that and getting everyone who's confirmed set up and ready to go. Ella, do you have anything to add there? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, one thing, and I might be wrong here, Sam, but I think that where Jack landed at the end of that conversation was that he also wanted to send that out to people who haven't yet interviewed. So the people that are in the pipeline coming through to find out exactly where they're at with passports and the status of their documents. So if they've got it in the interim between submitting their application and having their interview and they've got all their docs, by Friday, then we can set the interview and give them a yes on the Monday or Tuesday. So we can talk to that after this call, but just to make sure that everyone knows that everyone's still in the game at this point, whether or not they've got an interview.
Cool. Are there any specific questions on that from the team?
What's the central place they will be sending all their extra information? So, for example, there's about 5 things they need: passport confirmation, school letter confirmation, college letter confirmation, visa confirmation, and LAX travel confirmation. So where do all those go to? What's the central location?
So on the email, they'll be asked to send it to myself. And then we will house it, correct me if I'm wrong, Ella, in that Airtable spreadsheet. We'll update that on Friday as to who's got what.
Correct. So that's for the high school letter, the college letter, and the passport. That information's all housed in the Airtable document. So Sam, you'll kind of get all the emails and do that, and then Brendo to answer your other questions around the visas and the connecting flights. The visas will come to me. That visa stuff is a part of their induction or part of their welcome email. I'll send them how to do it. They send that back to me, and I manage that. And in terms of the flights, they don't actually have to send us their flights. They just have to do it, and we give them all the information to do it. So they just have to be able to book the flights.
So when do they get a welcome email once Shorbs has clicked all the buttons?
So what will happen is this email will go out after this call from Sam, and then on Friday, Jack and I will sit down and go through the list once we've compiled all of the, okay, here's where, Sarah's got her high school letter but not her college letter, and she's got a passport. Cool. She's a yes, and we'll kind of go through and figure out who the yeses and nos are, whether or not they've got all their documents in. They're still in for a shot. And then from there, we'll send the official email out to everyone who's successful on Friday at 5 p.m, which for you guys is 9 a.m. on Saturday morning, or for Sydney time, and then everyone else work that out. And then From there, we'll give them 24 hours to tell us whether or not they accept the Hooded Scholarship. If they accept it, I will then be sending a welcome email. And then from that welcome email, they'll be able to book their flights. So that's the kind of timeline of events. Does that make sense?
Beautiful.
Cool.
One thing about the connecting flights, Ella, I've just been having more conversations with Virgin. I know we spoke about it and didn't necessarily want the responsibility of having that information and therefore needing to chase it up, but Virgin said it would be a nice to have, because that way we are aware of people who may not have showed up for check-in yet, if they're just running 20 minutes late, half an hour late, etc. So I just want to raise that to the crew here, especially for some of the Hooded Scholars if they haven't travelled to LAX before. Do you think that we should be capturing this information and providing it to Virgin, or do you want to just keep it separate and it's their responsibility to get to the Virgin check-in on time? It's not that we can do anything, it's just that Virgin then knows if there's a delay, what's the reason, I guess.
Ella, that's your call, whether you think we can manage it or not.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a suggestion, Jazz, thinking off the top of my head. I think at this point we've got 90 mentors, like fan mentors, confirmed that it's like compiling that's going to be a bit of work, and then same with the Hooded Scholars. But I wonder if we just give clear instruction.
Form that just gets that we send out again at the very last minute.
Hey, Jazz and Ella, I might just park that convo, because I don't think the rest of the crew, they need to focus on getting the Hooded Scholars to that point. We can work out what info we get from them after that. Yeah. Team, were there any other questions about the follow-up with the applicants?
So what does that mean in relation to people that are looking at doing expedited passports? Because we've got candidates that are yet to interview until they've gone through that interview and have been told go and get a passport. They're not going to spend that money or work out how to deal with that money. So what's the deal in relation to those people?
If they're willing to get the passport in time and can guarantee that they'll have it, then just let us know that.
Okay.
Hey, Sam. Hello?
Yep, we got you.
Yeah, mate. Because I came in contact with a guy yesterday. Brendo, he was the guy that was at the hospital, and he's absolutely incredible. His girlfriend, Charbonnet, has already put an application in. Is there, I think you spoke about it a while ago, that if you know that there's someone amazing, sometimes you can get an interview fast-tracked. Do I just put that in an email or whatever, just say, look out for this submission?
Yeah, for sure. But it's going to be like, they're going to have guarantee on getting a passport, on college support, on a high school that they're going to be able to get. So if they can guarantee all of that, then there's still time for interviews, no doubt. There's lots of time. But you guys have now got to make sure that the people that you're putting forward can guarantee those things, so that if we put them in front of Jack, it's really him just getting a gauge on whether he thinks they've got what it takes or not, as opposed to thinking about technical things.
Okay, I understand. Yep.
Unreal. Crew, let's go do this. We'll CC you on the email so you know when it goes out and you can see it. Let's bring this home in the end of the week.
So I just got a text through from an applicant. Can I just jump in? They just want to know about when can we tell? I guess they're booking their flight to LA, and they want to know when they'll be returning, because I think there's a staggered system. So when would they find out that information?
Who is that, Hannah?
It's the Yulin sisters.
The twins?
Yeah, so they're trying to move pretty fast to get all their stuff together, and I guess that's part of what they're doing.
Yeah, so the challenge here is that we're not, so as a part of the welcome email I'll send out, that includes all the flight information, and the reason that we don't give the flight information out beforehand is in the case that they don't get selected and they've paid for it, we get in a sticky situation, which actually happened with one mentor, and then they didn't get picked. So I'm like, yeah, we'd be reluctant to let them book their flights until it's a final lock, which will be on Friday, 5 p.m. So my suggestion for you would be just tell them, hey, on 5 p.m. you'll get like your final confirmation, including flight times when you can book your ticket to LA. I mean, I'm guessing they had a strong interview. I'm guessing they will get picked, but I just hate for them to book their flights and not.
Yeah, no worries. They've got a passport to jump over before they get to that place. So cool. All right, thank you.
But for your knowledge, just on a side note, the flights, or you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Jazz, but they get back between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. on the 26th. That main flight anyway.
Everyone today is on the direct flight, so we're just slotting people into the other one, and after that.
Just to add, guys, when that email goes out from you, Shawgs, I suppose it's on us to make sure that people see that email, whether we copy text and send it via text if they're not checking their emails, or whether they've got an incorrect email. It's on us to translate that into all of our applicants. Is that right?
Yeah, I'll try and send a text as well, but some people haven't got phone numbers. So if there's people that you know directly that you've got contact, whether it's Facebook, whether it's WhatsApp, whatever, just hit them up. This is our last.
Can we get copied into the email that's going out just so we know what's on it?
Yes.
Cool.
If you guys have any in that list as well, if you do have any of the applicants' numbers and they're not in Airtable, put them in Airtable if you have them. Because, as Sam said, we don't have them all, but a lot of you will have them having met them.
That would be bloody awesome, actually. If you can do that, then we'll make sure they get a text as well. Awesome. Bye, guys.
Gang, gang.
Catch up.
Bye-bye. Gang, gang.
Yeah.